him for a little drink. But nevertheless, Jim, thank you for a shot QSL. Good luck and good EXP. 1 SCE Lima Yankee for Yankee. Cheers for now. Bye. Okay, all the best and 73. Good luck. This is Lima Yankee for Yankee. Just listening to Mike Whiskey 7. Is it Golf Echo? Was it Mike Whiskey 7? Okay, Mike Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo. Thank you and good evening to Wales. You're 5'9". The name's Jay. QSL. QSL Mike, thanks for shot contact. Good luck to you and good evening, 7-3.
Kilowatt 1 Golf Mike.
Sorry, Mike, my call is Lima Yankee for Yankee. QSL. That's QSL. All the best in 7-3. This is London Yankee for Yankee. QRZ.
Kilowatt 1 Germany Mike.
Hotel, Foxtrot, Radio.
Okay, who is the Victor Echo Free Station?
Something doesn't look right.
Okay,
Test,
Victor
test.
Echo
1,
Free.
2.
Victor Echo Free, you call again?
Test. 1, 2. Test.
Just stand by, gents. I'm listening to a Victor Echo Free. Was it a Victor Echo Free Station? Okay, Victor Echo Free, Quebec Hotel Delta. Thank you for the call. And good afternoon to you. Your signal report is about 5757. A bit of QRM. My name is Jay, and station located in central part of Lithuania. QSL. QSL Nell, thank you for 5 and 7 from Ontario. Very nice to put you in a lot for first time. Noel, good luck and good EX to you. All the best, 7-3. Thank you. This is Lima Yankee for Yankee. QRZ.
Kilowatt 1 Germany Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
Hotel, Foxtrot, Radio.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
Fox Radio, is it Mike Zero Hotel Fox Radio?
Yeah, QSL Jay, the name's Gary, G-A-R-R-Y, and I'm located in the southeast part of London, QSL.
Okay, QSL Gary, thanks. A good report from southeast London. You're also 5'9", and I'm located in central part of Lithuania here, not operating remote this time. Gary, you beautiful 5'9" here, QSL.
Yeah, QSL Jay, I'm running about 400 watts. Is the audio okay to you, Jay, QSL?
QSL Gary, no worries. Beautiful audio, no problem. A little bit bassy, maybe a little bit bassy, but it's all down to preference. No problem at all to copy you. Nice and loud with your 400 watts. Running a little bit more power, about a kilowatt output into a 6 element Yagi, which is fixed to North America here. Gary, thank you for QSL. All the best to London. M0HFR, LY for Y.
Yeah, for Yankee M0 HFR. Yeah, we're also allowed to run a kilowatt in the UK. 730 Jay, and all the best. Bye-bye.
Okay, 73. Kilowatt 2 Japan Papa Victor, Lima Yankee for Yankee returning. Nice to work here. Good afternoon. You're 5'9", 59. Operator name's Jay. My name's Jay. And station located in central part of Lithuania. QSL. Well, John, thank you very much for information and also beautiful signal here. And I'm located about 50 kilometers from the city of Kaunas, and pretty much the same distance from the capital, Vilnius, as well. John, nice to put you in a log. All the best, and good EXK2JPD, Lima Yankee for Yankee. Bye-bye. This is Lima Yankee for Yankee, QRZ.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Okay, Kilowatt 1, is it Alpha Mike?
Germany Mike Mike, over. Kilo 1 Germany Mike Mike.
Okay, Germany, Mexico, my mistake. Good afternoon, King 1, Golf, Mexico, Lima Yankee for Yankee. You're 5-9 plus, QSL.
Yeah, QSL. Just testing out a new antenna here. A Moxon, 20-meter Moxon rectangle hanging from the trees at about 70 feet, pointed over your way. So very good. You're about a 5.9 plus, going into 5.9 into the red. Thank you, Jay. I know we've worked before. I'll get out of the way. I'm just doing some testing. I appreciate you picking me up. Lima Yankee 4 Yankee, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, over.
Okay, fine copy, and congrats on your new antenna. Certainly works very well. You got through definitely. And running a 6-element Yagi here and about a kilowatt into it. Thanks for QSO. Good luck and good EX. King 1 George Mike Lima Yankee 4 Yankee 7-3.
7-3. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you. This is Lima Yankee. Wait, is it a Lima Yankee station?
Looks like I've got a little
outside Europe.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Victor Echo, I think you have a Victor Echo station. Come on. Victor Echo 2, Papa Golf Mike, no problem. Your copy great. 5-7. 57 just now here in Gothenburg, Sweden, and the name here is Pierre. Well? QSL Pierre, I have the same name and ability Sam, Papa India Echo, Radio Echo. Thank you, 5-7 in Quebec, my friend. Take care, have a great and hope you meet again. 7-3, Pierre, bye-bye. Q2 Japan, Pack the Victor, John, no problem, capture. You're 5-8 just now here in Sweden, John, over. Good to hear you too. Thank you, my friend. Very, very nice, John. Take care, man. Have a great weekend, John. Bye-bye.
Kilowatt 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Hello, too. This is Sierra Baker 6 Alpha station outside Europe. Sugar Boston 6 Alpha station outside Europe. India.
Kilowatt 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Victor Fox, Sugar. Yeah, Victor Echo 3, Victor Fox, I think. Come on. Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, we speak 2 times before, Glenn, but no problem. I'll repeat my name, Glenn. My name is Pierre, Papa India Echo, Radio Echo, Gothenburg, Sweden, and I call it Sierra Baker 6 Alpha. And you're 5-7 this evening, Glenn, over. Very okay. Very okay. You can sitting here behind me, Glenn, over. All right, Glenn, no problem with your modulation. Take care, my friend. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Kilowatt 1 Golf Mike Mike.
The station with Mike, station with double Mike, come on.
Kilowatt 1 Germany, Mexico, over.
Kilo 1 Germany, Mexico. Hello, Steve. Thank you, Steve.
58, 58 in Sweden at this time, Steve, over.
Yeah, QSL, thanks for the 5.8. Testing out a new antenna, running a Moxon rectangle, pushing about 500 watts here, pointed your way. Thanks for the 5.8. You are a 5.9. 5.9, no problem. In the clear, over.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, 10 running great. I run my old ultra beam. My ultra beam in 300 degrees in your position and 20 meters up. And 700-800 whiskey here, Steve. Over.
Yeah, very good, very good. You got a lot of capture effect, too, on that thing. Thank you very much. 7-3, I'll get you on the cluster. Have a great rest of the weekend. Appreciate it there, Pierre. SB6A, K1 GMM, over.
Yeah, thanks so much, Steve. Take care and have a great day. Sierra Baker 6 Alpha station outside Europe. Vic Echo 3 with radio. Vic Echo 3. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with you, so I'm gonna let you go. I'll catch you further down the log when the band's a little bit more quiet, and I wish you a nice weekend there, Mark. Back to you.
Boy, he's loud. Holy mother. Strong 20 over. Good God. This antenna freaking rocks.
Yeah, 73s, mate. Yeah, you don't move the needle, so I can hear you in the noise.
Cost me
but
like $5 to make
you
this
know,
thing.
it's really very
Stupid.
very hard for me to copy you. So we'll catch each other again further down the log. No problem there, Mark. Have a nice weekend.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Right, Stephen, that is. Steve, good evening, I think it is, to you, Steve. And name here is Hubert. Back to you, mate.
Yeah, Huber, nice to meet you. I didn't get your call. Don't know if we've worked before. I'm testing out a new antenna. If you could give me a signal report, that'd be great. You're 20 over. Plus 20 into state of Vermont. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, over.
Yeah, you're 5 over 9. So, yeah, you're 5 over 9. But you've got a very, very good signal, good audio as well. I don't know what you're doing. I think you're into some sound processing or something like that. You're doing great. I don't know what antenna you're using. I'm using a 4-element at it's not all the way up. It's about 25 meters up at the moment, and roughly pointing your direction. I guess you're at 3294. Yeah, 38. I'm 15 degrees off, but that doesn't matter much really. So. Yeah, that's the situation there. I'm using an FTX 5000 into a homebrew linear amplifier with a 3x3 tube, and that goes into the beam then. So back to you, mate.
Okay, what was your call, please? Over.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's useless without it, isn't it? It's Papa Hotel number 2, Uniform November.
Got it, Hubert. This is a new one. You're not in my log, so yeah, thanks for picking up the call. Wow. Yeah, you got a huge signal. You actually almost clipped 30 over on the previous go. We're pushing about 500 here on this little Moxon, and yeah, I got a rack running, but this is the DX profile, so it's basically 140 hertz to 3 kilohertz. Everything below 140 is shaved off, so I do that all. It's a Sun radio, an SDR. So, and a PW1, like I said, pushing about 500. Thank you, Hubert. I'll get you on the cluster here and wish you a great rest of the weekend. Thanks for picking up the call. I appreciate it and appreciate the new contact. Papa Hotel 2, Uniform November, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. What a huge signal. It is so big. Over.
Yeah, it's the beam, isn't it? Yeah, if you look at my QSZ page, you get some hints on the signal there. Yeah, but yeah, you know, nobody likes to strain their ears, do they? And I do work a lot of QRP stations in Australia, the other side of the world, America as well. And if you got a wee signal yourself, then that's not going to work, is it? Because there's always
Hey, Andrew.
some bloke, half kc away from you that starts contesting or something like that. So nobody wants that. But I do like working small stations far away. And it works quite well, but you need to put out a reasonable signal yourself, of course. Back to you.
Yeah, it does help, right? I had a friend tell me years ago, he says, well, gain goes both ways, Steve. You can snort fire, but if you can't hear anything, you can't work anything. So, you get an antenna with some decent amount of gain. Of course, you got the ERP factor on transmit, but on receive, it works in your favor as well. So the capture effect is really good. It really helps, especially with the QRP and weaker stations. Over?
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I mean, that's what makes these signal reports so useless, because I'm using a 4-element beam now. You're 5 over 9. If I were using a dipole, you'd probably be 5 and 7, And then you'd be unhappy with your 5 and 7, but your signal didn't change, did it? My antenna did change. So my signal report to you says more about my station than about yours, really. Back to you.
Yeah, right. Pay attention to my signal right now, because we got some sharp QSB. If you could, you've dropped to about a 10 over, 5 to 10 over. So let me know how I'm doing right now. It's tough to do. You got to run an antenna for a long time, but I literally just put it up today, and I redid all of the antennas. I got really irritated. I was running a ZS6 BKW, and it's a great antenna, but I just had no punch, no teeth going into Europe. The bands have been horrible, as you know. It's not too bad right now. These are the strongest signals I've seen in a long time. Over.
Yeah, they've been crap. That's correct. You went down to 5 and 5 or something like that, but and then you went very quickly up to 5 and 7, and then up to 5 and 9 again. So, but it's because I was looking at my meter. In audio there wasn't any difference at all. Just fine copy, and very nice audio, very nice to listen to. By the way, back to you.
Oh, thanks. I've put some work. I was on a DAW for a while, and I just I could not get the control through the DAW on free plugins that I can get on the rack. So the rack is very modest. I'm actually running a kick drum microphone. I love this mic, and a lot of guys have jumped on this. It's an Audio-Technica ATM25, I think. It's old. This thing's like 30 years old, and they use it a lot. It's very well suited for like ESSB Voodoo audio. It's a really good microphone for that. And you can't get them anymore. They're discontinued, unfortunately. But the chain is nothing elaborate. I mean, it's just basically a preamp with a parametric EQ built in, flows into a 31 band, into an Aphex 204, to a compressor limiter gate, and then, which I am running a little reverb, which I should shut that off. I forgot about that. Goes into an FX 2000. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's all cheap, except for the Aphex 204, and you can't get that anymore either. If you want that Goliath bottom end, there is no substitute for that. That thing is a monster. Over.
Yeah, I've been messing about with equalizer and stuff like that, and in the end, it's just a pain in the butt, really. So I've basically gotten rid of most of the gear, and I've been running Optimob since, and I had the 9105A. The HF one, and an AM one I had as well. I think that's 9200 or something, like 9100. Yeah, something like that. These brown boxes. And I sold those, and I bought a 9300, which is a digital one, and I'm running that now, which really, the good thing is if you're an audio noob like I am, and you don't want endless audio reports from your friends and all that crap, and going up and down frequency and changing this. The point is nobody's ever happy, so you can keep changing your equalizer all the time, because one person has a narrow filter and he thinks you're too boomy, too bassy, and the other one is listening on 4K and he thinks you should turn it back a little bit so you can keep going, right? But the Optimod's really a one-box solution, isn't it? You plug it in, you find yourself a nice preset, and it does it all. It's perfect for me. You plug it in, it goes out straight into the radio, and there you go. No more fine tuning there. Back to you.
No, it's a circle jerk of a rabbit hole, isn't it, Hube? It's a horrible, horrible thing. It's a disease. I call it a disease. I've done a lot of videos on this stuff, and most people don't understand that where the articulation happens in the human voice. You got to have. That 1.6 to 2.5 kilohertz, 2.8, 2.9 kilohertz. It's got to be in there. And if you're running a SDR, or you look at it on a web SDR, you should see easily 80 to 90% of the energy you've got in the bottom end in that area in the top end. And I did a poll a while back on YouTube, and everybody spends so much time working on this like monster audio, right? When in reality, people are only listening at, I'd have to go back in and look at it, but it was really eye-opening. Even on the longer wavelengths, like 40, 75, 80 meters, they're listening at like 2.5 to 2.9 kilohertz. Like 90% of the people, they're not going to hear that. They're not going to hear any of that. So you better have that energy in that top end. Over.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, and especially if you go wider, I think I'm 3K at the moment, if I'm correctly. I can't check it when I'm transmitting, but I think I remember putting it on 3K. Sometimes on the lower bands, when the audio freaks go, I put it on 4K. But if you're not listening on 4K, it's not going to make any difference. It's exactly what you say. If they're listening on 2.7, then I can transmit on 6K, and it will sound horrible to them. So I do appreciate that it sounds good, and I like to sound good. But my main thing is to get the audio density in, because it's a multi-band compressor. So using the Optimod by itself will increase your signal strength quite a bit. I've used it in very, very bad conditions, and it really is like switching on an amp. It really is. It really does make that difference. And that's the other reason why I use it. And some people like it, some people don't. But I do care about reasonable audio quality. It doesn't need to be FM or but as long as it's not bad, then I'm happy there. Yeah. Anyway, about your I've been using a Moxon before I had this antenna. I've been using a Moxon. It was only about 14 meters high or something like that. But these are fantastic antennas. They've got a huge front to back. I worked the world with that. It was cheap, and it was a fantastic antenna. I had so much fun with that. And it was absolutely great performer. That was. If you come from like a wire antenna, you go to a Moxon. It's a complete different world. I really like that antenna. Yeah, I got a much bigger one now, so I sold it. But I was really happy with that. And this one obviously is better, but not 10 times better. Absolutely not. That was a fantastic antenna. That was. Back to you.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd say this, but they're very overrated. I mean, underrated. Very underrated antenna. People don't really know that much about them. They have 2 dB gain increase over a hex beam. They don't multiband. You can multiband them. There's a guy in the UK that has a multiband Moxon, and he tried to explain it to me, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. It was very successul. But yeah, these things, what's funny, Hube, is that when I first started out in the hobby, I was playing on 11 meters, right? And I had a 4-element hybrid Moxon on 11 meters. And that thing was 1-to-1 from 26, what was it? 26,880, I think, all the way to 28, just under 28.4. Yeah, no joke. And I'm telling you, man, that 4-element, it was, I used 10 gauge wire, and that was a freaking weapon. That antenna had enormous gain. We're talking like 13 dB of gain. I was doing on that what guys do on like Yagis and stuff like that. Shoot, dude, 70 watts. I was hitting people like a freight train on that thing. No need for an amplifier. They are so underrated. Even the 2 elements. I'm just running. I built dozens of these things, man. Everything from 2 meters to UHF, VHF, 6 meters, all the way into HF. And it cost me $5 to make this. Literally $5 to make this antenna. Over.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't need to cost much. I paid for mine. It's a big beam and it's multi-band, and I've got 3 elements on 40. And 4 on 20, 4 on 15, 6 on 10. So I've been thinking about building. I had the design, and I was looking at the prices of aluminium, and I just couldn't be bothered. It's if you have to build it yourself, it's going to be expensive as well. So that wasn't that. It's going to be a big antenna is expensive, whatever you do. So. But you're right, and I know exactly why they're so good. I tell you why. It's not so hard to be heard. I can put 15 kilowatts into a wire, and the whole world can hear me. I will tell you. It's just what happens. I can. It's not easy. It's not hard to shout, but it's hard to listen. And we live in a very, very quiet area. I can give people a 5 and 0 signal report.
Yeah, Mike, it's
when I can hear them. Right. I can hear everything they say, but the needle is not moving at all. It's just dead in the left corner. And that's because we have no noise here. It's very, very quiet. For Dutch standards, we're in the middle of nowhere, basically in the woods, and there's no Chinese power supplies here, and it's just very, very quiet. So I can work a guy who's working 5 watts in a parking lot in Australia, for example, And that is for me is the fun of the hobby, really. But I can work him because I can hear him, and I can shout whatever I like, and everybody can hear me, and they can shout back. But if I don't hear them, and these Moxons, they have a huge front to back, which is absolutely fantastic for blocking noise from Italy or whatever. Especially here, I don't know how it is in the USA. But here in Europe, if I work Australia, it's usually long path because I can, I have the Europe in the back. It's a huge noise center. This whole Europe is, and if you can block that off a bit, then you've won half the battle there. Back to you.
Yeah, PH2UN K1GMM. You're right on the money. It's an epidemic, isn't it? I would say the noise situation is an epidemic. And when you were talking, I was watching the spectrum, and I thought, good Lord, I saw the baseline. This is a quiet antenna. I'm actually really surprised because sometimes, you can put up a beam like we were talking about, gain goes both ways. The noise floor will actually increase. Now, I'm a big loop fan. I've always run big loops, multi-element loop arrays and stuff like that. And I took everything down because of the maintenance. It was a nightmare. Just, stuff, having to maintain it. And we get horrible wind here in the wintertime. A lot of ice, a lot of snow. And, we're talking hurricane force winds, like 98 miles an hour here, often. I would say from November right through April, beginning of May, we'll have storms come through and it just tears crap up, man. It's bad. So I need something that's durable. And people are like, well, why do you do what you do? I said, because it takes me 15 minutes to rehang the antenna. I grabbed the antenna launcher. I've had paracord literally get snapped off in the top of the tree. Everything's on pulleys, so it all free floats. So the wind, I've seen trees laid right over, in hurricane force winds. Everything stays up, but over a period of 2 or 3 years, the paracord gets sheared off at the top of the tree. And I've gone out in the middle of a storm with that antenna launcher, has 27 pennies in a tennis ball. Charge it up with about 40, 45 pounds. I can thread the eye of a needle at 105 feet on the tree. I'll put the line back through, 15 minutes, literally the antenna's back up in the air with absolutely no damage. I'm not kidding. I've actually videotaped some of this stuff. And, I'd love like big Yagis and stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, dude, they never survive here, and I don't have the money for a support system. The support system I would need to get an antenna to survive here would cost me more than a car. Over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like the mast I have. If you look at my QSF page, you can see it. I can wind it all down. I can wind it down and up. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I use loops as well. I have a full size loop on top band, and basically do the same. I don't have an antenna launcher. I use a. It was a bit of a learning curve for me as well. Because people are like, you have to use a fishing rod or something like that. It's all crap, that is. And I was bloody frustrated with it. And then I was looking at a logger on YouTube, and he was an American logger, and he was taking these big pine trees down. And he said, nothing beats a crossbow, he said. And I thought, he's fucking right, So I bought myself a 120-pound crossbow, big fucking crossbow. And I have the arrows, which I weigh down, because the problem is not getting the line over the tree. The problem is getting it down on the other side. Because when it's dangling up there, it's no use, is it? So you need quite a bit of weight. So I weigh down the top of my arrows with a door stopper, rubber door stopper.
How the heck are you, John?
And use kite wire like you, and just spray it out in big, huge loops, and then I shoot over the tree. It comes down on the other side, pull the wire over it, and you get so used to it. It works a treat, really, really does. And a big crossbow is really doing the job. I tell you that. These are fantastic. Just shoot over the canopy, I don't use spoolies at all. I just use, just normal wire, really. It will deteriorate over time, but, just use new wire over it and do it again. And usually it stays up for more than a year. And I found, in the beginning, I shot it over branches. You want to do a neat job. That's no good. Just shoot it over the canopy. Anywhere where it hangs, it's okay. And then the other
shoot.
something heavy, and that's it. Do that on four corners,
on the wrong thing.
And it's so flexible, nothing will happen to it. And we have winds about, well, not like yours, I must admit, but it stays up quite long there, longer than you expect. And sometimes when I come back after a business trip or something like that, then you come back, and the first thing you do when you come home is before you get out of the car, you peek with your eye if everything's still up and running, and then you see that one of the corners have come down. And you just shoot one more line, new one, weigh it down, connect to the corner of the loop, and it's up again. It's easy as that. Just like you do there, back to you.
Yeah, K1 GMM. Yeah, that's funny, dude. You may be I may be competing with someone because I don't know why people do that, man. I know they can hear you. I don't know if they'll hear me, but they can hear you. They just jump right into the passband. I can't. You're just stomping them seriously right into the mud. You're killing them, so it's not an issue on my side. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm like I said, I got tired of the maintenance situation, so I wanted to simplify. And I'll end it here because I'm pushing a live stream right now, so you can go in and see your signal strength. You go to the K1 GMM YouTube channel, you'll see it. No joke, dude. You are slamming in here. So I just can't deal with complexity anymore. So I wanted to simplify, but the problem is the bands have been such crap that you really got to have a beam. You got to have some form of a beam, something, just to give you a little punch. You know what I mean? If I was on that BKW, you wouldn't even hear me. I would, and I know I'm falling into almost in the noise, because I'm seeing about 15 to 20 dB of QSB on you. No joke. You'll fall to about an S8 and then you'll pop right back up again. So I know it must be really savage on your end with me. So anyways, let me get out of here, Hugh. I'm going to get you on the cluster, and I got to continue on with the stream because I got people waiting for the bill plan and all the other stuff. So really fun. Nice to meet you. And I appreciate you taking the time. I hope I didn't hold you up too much, but I really love the rag chews on 20 meters and the shorter wavelengths. I love 17 meters. I've had some great QSOs on 17, literally like an hour long. It's been, really fun. That was a year ago. That was last year. I modified the BKW into it's a baby BKW. So I did 3 modifications today. I modified the 80 meter loop, which I need to get out, and I need to adjust the element length on the Delta. So that covers 80 and 40, and I got about 20 plus dB return loss on that on 40 meters. So I know that's a crackerjack. That works good. And then I modified the BKW I had up it's an antenna I ran a year or two ago for about a year, and it was a great antenna for 17, covers 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6. The only band that it's about 3 to 1 is on 17, but the PW1 will just snap that into shape, and that thing really works good. It's 11.9 feet per leg, and it hangs on the supports for the Moxon off of one corner. It's about 10 feet away. So I got basically 80, 40. I pretty much lost 30. Don't care about that. 80, 40, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6. It's a little high on 6 in the kill box, but 6 is crap anyway, so I don't even waste my time with that. So I'm back, I'm back kind of in the game. Just got really frustrated. PH2UN K1GMM, over.
Yep, no problem at all, mate. I'll let you go. Yeah, no, you're not holding me up at all. I mean, I've worked the world, trust me. I don't really care who I'm talking to. As long as I have something interesting to say, then I'll talk to them. So, yeah, no problem at all, mate. Pleasure was all mine. And I'll let you go then. And work some other stations and see where that goes. So, anyway, thanks for the chat. And have a nice weekend. And I'll catch you further down.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Hubert. And again, thank you very much. It's been a nice QSO and especially nice for BoobTube. So people get a kick out of it. Huge signal. Man, I had someone comment already. They're like, boy, the big signal's in there. I'm like, yeah, well, you're the ruler and king, brother. You can wear the freaking crown right now because you've been freaking cranking. We'll see you later. Have a good one. PH2UN K1GMM. I'm out of here. 7-3.
Yeah, I'll have a look tomorrow at your channel, see if I can pick myself out there. So anyway, all the best, mate. Have a nice weekend.
You too. Thank you.
QSF, please.
Kilo 4 Alpha November Echo.
Yeah, got you there. Yeah, hope you didn't have to wait too long.
All righty then. All right, let me get to, what do we at? So let me get over to this one. Okay, we're going to go through some things. There you go, folks. Moxon Rectangle. Look at those freaking signals on there. Those are the strongest signals I have seen in months. This thing freaking kicks ass. I'm curious as to who this is up here. Check this out.
Your 5.9 plus as well.
Oh, that's store.
Signals got.
LA4UOA.
Seems like we've got a little pile up here. Band is wide open and it's getting more and more open during the night.
Awesome. All righty. Good heavens. Let me minimize this. I'll check the chat quick. Expand this up so I can see what I'm doing. I'll walk you guys through some things that how I did this and the method to the madness, and then I'm going to close the stream down. So, wow. Oh, I'm low. Okay. Yeah, I tend to have a big mouth, Mike. Jeez, I'm peaking. I'm peaking up into the red, so I'm going to leave it alone. I'm beating them. G0DTX. Really? Really? This freaking antenna, I'll tell you what, Johnson. All right. Literally cost me $5 to build. Absolutely stupid. This antenna rocks. I don't know how many Moxons I built in my life. Probably 15 or more Moxons. Anyways, let me get over. Let's see. What do we got? Let me show you guys. Actually, let me play a video for you. I'm going to play a video so I can show you what went on outside. It's really quick. And, okay. Let's scroll down here. Okay. Really, dude? Yeah, these Moxons, I'm telling you. Okay, so this is a video of what it looks like. So let me go ahead and play this.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right. Thank goodness I didn't take the lines down. There is the Moxon flying about 65 feet. Easily, 65, 70 feet. That is 20 meter Moxon. I'm going to go through the build, how I did it. One corner goes to that tree, the other corner goes to that tree, and we got another corner up there and another corner back there. So this is the mini BKW. I think you can see that. Ladder line comes down, goes up. That's attached to one of the lines. I just wanted to show you how I did it. Now this is pointed directly northeast, 53 degrees, on the money, which puts me into Europe. And look at that thunderhead. Holy mama. I hope the stream can go off. We are going to get slammed. It was horribly hot today. I'm drenched with sweat. And yeah, pretty fugly. So anyways, that is the deal. The Moxie. All right, let's get inside.
Alrighty, so let's get right into it. That's what she looks like. So I retooled all the antennas on the property. I got sick and tired of not being able to hit Europe like I used to. Remember, I had the 2-element loops up. So the BKW is okay, but just a little sideshow. I went and I checked the, what is the name of there's a WebSDR in Shrewsbury. It's on the backside of Killington Peak. K1VL. The K1VL, what do you call that? It's a WebSDR, a Kiwi. It's a Kiwi SDR, awesome machine, one of the best in the world. That thing is way the frick up there in elevation. You would not believe the attenuation I have in this valley. You would not believe it. He's running a G5RV, I believe, on the Kiwi, and I checked the same signals coming in here on a ZS6 BKW, which is no slouch. It's a great antenna, way down on receive. So I decided, okay, I got to do something about this. I went and I tore everything down back in February and simplified everything, and I shot myself in the foot, but I really didn't, because first thing I'm going to say is this Moxon, 20-meter Moxon, is a fixed Moxon. It's pointed northeast, 53 degrees at Europe, and it's one of those things that there's no point in me trying to even go west. I've got a 4,000-foot chunk of marble that literally goes straight up right behind the house. So, as you guys know, so I could care less about going west. And so what I did was I took the 80-meter monoband loop out front, and I multi-banded that. I jammed a 4-to-1, 12 turns on a 1-inch core, basically 3/4-inch PVC, 12 turns of 12-gauge wire, bifilar turns. And I've gone over this before, showed you guys this. This is the 4-to-1 it's a 4-to-1 balun. I jammed that on there with the choke. And I think I do need a choke on the Moxon because I can hear a little weird stuff happening in my headphones. So I got something coming back in. So I'm going to have to choke this thing. Normally never choke Moxons, but I was pushing about 500. So that gives me 80 and 40 meters. It gives me other bands as well. So I'm going to use that antenna for 20 meters. It's actually low SWR and good return loss on 20 for stateside here, going down the eastern seaboard. So I'll use that because the Moxon's got like 25 dB front to back. That's my European Slayer, so to speak. Let me get the picture up. Desktop, 20-meter Moxon. So let me get this up. Expand this. Okay, if you guys aren't familiar, download the Moxon rectangle generator. It's called Moxgen. You put I have it centered on 14250. I use number 14 gauge wire, set that right here, and hit calculate, and I set this in feet, in decimal feet. Now here's the catch. That's what I wanted to go over. I mentioned this a million times probably. If you're using coated wire, you need to multiply every single one of these. Well, first of all, you can get your overall length right here, A plus B times 2. So there's two sides, B, B1 and B2. Here's B. So you take 3.85 times 2, add it to 25.174 feet. That's your overall length on the driven element. Multiply that times 2%. You have to do that. If you're these calculators are designed for bare copper wire, and it has to be copper. Can't use stainless steel or anything. Everything goes sideways. So I'm using coated wire. So the coating on the wire changes the velocity factor by 2%. So you need to reduce the overall length on the driven and the reflector by 2% and do your calculations accordingly. The spacing, this is C right here. This is your spacer. This is the tip spacing between the driven element and the reflector. Okay, that I don't mess with. I never have messed with it, never had an issue. So I used 1/2-inch PVC on the corners right here to hold the antenna. Drill 2 holes for the paracord for them to connect to for the supports. And here's the catch. If you don't, this is what I would do. Most people would take the insulators and they drill a hole, let's say straight through. See this line? Or like right through like this. Don't do that because the wire's going to slip in the insulator and then the geometry will go out of shape under tension. So what you want to do is you want to punch one hole in the insulator. So let's say there's a 1/2-inch PVC insulator running through this corner. So you got the wire coming in through one hole and then at a right angle, punch another hole. So it's a little bit of a trick to slide the wire into that to get it to move, but you can get it to move. And what happens is when this comes up under tension, that wire bites. The insulator bites into the wire, into the coating of the wire, and prevents it from slipping. Therefore, your geometry stays correct. Doesn't matter how much tension you put on it. You can hang on it if you want to. Probably end up breaking the wire, but it ain't gonna move. So that'll prevent your corners from moving. All right. The feed point I constructed, it's a direct feed with cutting board, running RG8. No. What is it? Yeah, RG8. The big stuff. It's old coax, but that's what I'm running on it. And there is about 100, so it's about 140 feet into the shack, right? So here's another thing I wanted to show you. Okay, this is a text document I created. This is specifically for a 20-meter Moxon, okay? And you guys will probably, if you're watching on the phone, you'll probably have a hard time seeing it. Okay, so these are the calculations. So the driven overall length, 32.872 feet. Minus 2%. So that 32.872 times 2% is 0.657. So you need to subtract 0.657 from the driven overall length. That gives 32.2 feet. Reflector overall length, 43.456, less minus 2%. So you need to subtract 0.869 from 43.456. That gives 42.6 feet. So those are your element lengths. So obviously the driven element, you need to divide that by 2. 32.2 feet overall length. So you need to cut that in half for the feed point. So that's 16.1. So that's 16.1 feet. Spacing is 0.622 inches. Okay, A. This is the distance across the front of the antenna and the back of the antenna. It's 24.7 feet. Divided by 2. That gives a 12.34 feet driven element per leg to the corner. Okay? The B side, this is the side where it comes around. Let me get this other image back up. Where are you? Let me get this back up. Okay, I'll move this off for a second. So the B side, this is the side right here. So I ran the calculations on this. What's going on here? Okay, this is the B side. This is the side. So I did the calculations on that. And that's 3.77 feet. 3.77 feet. Dadgummit. This is really hard to do on a single monitor. 3.77 feet on this side right here. You notice is that this says 3.849. But you have to subtract 2% because of the coated wire, because of the velocity factor. It will not be tuned correctly. All right? You have to do, if it's coated wire copper, you have to multiply it by 2% and subtract that number from the overall lengths. All right, so we got the reflector side. This is the reflector right here. This is D. That's the reflector side right here. So that comes out to 4.6. You'll notice this is 4.671. So 2% subtracted from this gives you 4.6. Now this antenna, what I can recommend, if you want to play with these, they are incredibly simple to build. Stupid to build. All right. All you need is a tape measure, a little bit of torch, and some PVC. The spacer right here, what I did was I took half-inch PVC, and I put it in a vise, and I took a Sawzall, and I ripped down through the center of it and created two pieces that were roughly, 7-8 inches long. 7 inches long, maybe. And then drilled the holes. So this is the spacers. So the distance between the end of the driven and the end of the reflector is 0.622. That's the space you need. So don't use paracord because it'll stretch. Don't use anything that'll stretch. PVC is dirt cheap. Don't go out and buy. Really, you guys, don't go out and buy all this elaborate crap. It cost me $5 to make this antenna. And it's a 7.5 dBi gain beam. $5, not including the coax. Stupid. And it will kick ass. I guarantee it. Let's see. I was working what's his name? Before the stream went off. So let me check. I forgot to log him, damn it. Modify this. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Who was it? Jay. Lima Yankee 4 Yankee, I think. I think it was him. Or it was Pierre out of Sweden. Worked a couple guys before I jumped on here with you guys just to see if it would work. He was about a 5'8" to me on 1.5 kilowatt. And I was a 5.7 to him on 500 on the Moxon. He was running a 3-element beam. All right, so the one thing I wanted to mention was make sure your tip spacing is critical, because Moxons function on the principle of capacitive coupling, right? So the tip spacing is important. You could have this geometry a little out of whack and the thing will still work. Now, one thing I wanted to say was, if you do this right, I have built literally at least a dozen, 15 of them, maybe even more, all different bands, right? If you do it right, you will not need to tune this antenna. So I will show you. I don't have the, wait till you see this crap. With the amp and bypass. So let's bring the tune up. So I'm going to sweep down through 20 meters. These are incredibly broadbanded with enormous gain for their size. All right. If you build it correctly, you will never need to put this antenna on a VNA. I guarantee it. If you VNA this thing and it's out of whack, you screwed up. You did something wrong. So if you watch this meter right here on the sun, let me switch it to SWR. So the SWR is on the bottom when this thing pops on. So we'll check it at the bottom, 14.1. 1-to-1. Let's go to 14.150. 1-to-1. The dog's going crazy. Let's go to 14.250. 1-to-1. No tuner required. Let's go to 14.349. One to one. The entire band flatter than a pancake. That is freaking sweet, folks. Can't believe I waited this long to build one for 20 meters. Anyways, I'm out of here. Wife's home. Got to go do groceries. I get, and there's no more stuff in the chat. I'm out of here. 7-3, guys. Have a great day. Give you something to think about. Super fun!